Let me present this to you. Cam Ward's available. Shedeur Sanders is available at number 2. Do you take the pick, or do you potentially trade back and pick up 2, 3 first-round picks in future drafts?
So I have this. This is like the great draft Schrodinger's box complex of this all because I think there are a lot of people living in two different worlds in offering like scenarios that require your foot be in two different worlds with this draft. I am somebody of the belief, Dave, that this quarterback class just ain't it, right? Like this just is not a quarterback class that a quarterback should go in the top 5 in, right? Like some quarterback classes are just like that. I believe that's the case. I don't think that these quarterbacks are top 5 picks in any world. Um, and because I believe that, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of teams that are willing to trade up. And what I've been seeing is a lot of people saying, hey, look, the Browns are going to take a quarterback at 2, but they might trade back. Well, if there were quarterbacks in this class that were worth that number 2 overall pick, the Browns wouldn't trade the pick. They would just take the quarterback, right? But we're somehow saying that there is no quarterbacks in this class. The Browns shouldn't take a quarterback. But also, the Browns should get like all these picks from a team that desperately wants a quarterback in order to fix their situation. And those two realities just don't make sense to me because the Browns and maybe the Giants are the two teams that would be the most desperate for quarterback. And if they don't want to take a quarterback, it says a lot about where this class is. So why would they trade with the team that wants a quarterback less than they do? Why would a team trade up to get that pick if the Browns don't even want to do it? They need a quarterback more, and they have the number 2 overall pick outright. So I don't know if there's going to be a great trade up option. Both quarterbacks might be there at 2. Abdul Carter seems like he might go number 1 unless Tennessee Titans trade that pick. And if there's no Abdul there, right, and you're not in love with the quarterbacks and you can't find a great trade, that means number 2 is a bit of an interesting situation. And I think that's the scenario that I think is maybe the worst case scenario for the Cleveland Browns, but there's a good strong possibility that they could pop up in there because I don't know exactly what they do with the number 2 overall pick. If that's the case, do you just say, all right, well, I'm not in love with any of these prospects. We can't find a trade. Let's just take a quarterback. That doesn't have a great history of working out. Do you just take your best player available, maybe overdraft somebody like a Mason Graham so you could just get a good player at number 2 or a really good player at number 2? That could work out fine, but not going to be seen as like the sexy move that you need for a team drafting at number 2. There's going to be a lot of questions that pose to them. But yeah, when it comes to number 2, I think they're going to have to stay there and pick. And it's just going to come down to who's the best player available because I just don't think the trade offers are going to be there to move up. It feels like everybody that I talk to, right? Giants people, Tennessee people, everybody in the top 5 is talking about how they're going to trade back. And if everybody in the top 5 wants to trade back, then that means that the offers that you're going to get to trade back aren't that great.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to trade up.